Ted Lasso season 3 is at the halfway point, only 6 episodes remaining. So what can you tease about Nate's character for these next 6 episodes?
Well, I can say that, this latter half of season 3, it's slightly more loaded towards, Nate a little bit, that he, I think we've seen Nate up until now, apart from maybe episode 1 and 4 when Richmond and West Ham played, he's just been out on a limb. He's been on his own for quite a lot. And, rightly so, he's obviously at West Ham now. So I think, what we've realized is that Nate isn't happy. I think that he possibly thought he was going to be happy by moving to this fancy club and getting a fancy car and so on. And the prestige which kind of comes with that and getting the attention on social media. But I think he's very quickly realized that those things haven't made us happy. And so what Nate needs to do now is a lot of soul searching to address the sort of the deep-seated insecurities that have made him who he is and, possibly contributed towards a lot of wrong decisions in his life. So I think we can anticipate unfinished business with Ted, with Richmond, with his dad, even. And so, yeah, that's, he's flirting with relationships, and, he's craving that and some kind of support network in his life. So, yeah, we're going to probably see a bit more of that.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because with Nate, even though he kind of plays up to that villainous character when he is with West Ham, you still see the old Nate where he's kind of not sure of himself. He still is sincere and nice. And we saw that not too long ago when he went on that date. So how has it been balancing the Nate of West Ham and the old Nate we've seen the last 2 seasons?
Well, it's a constant dance, really. And I think that for me as an actor is always sort of one of the challenges to try and, make it believable. And, because there are elements of Nate's personality which are quite goofy and, he's quite clumsy and, deliberately very comical. But sort of balancing that with the more emotional, more dramatic side to him has been, look, I've just had the writing is phenomenal. So it's always there in the writing, but just having had lots of coaching from Jason and the great team of directors that we have and creators on the show who are always there on hand and just making sure that there's an authenticity to it and it doesn't feel like this is just a guy with multiple different personalities and so we can feel that we can sort of feel one in the other. So often he'll present a front, but actually we can also see that internal struggle going on at the same time.
And speaking of Jason, you got to work with him closely on screen for the last 2 seasons. And this season, as you mentioned, you're kind of on your own. So you're not really with the cast members as much as you were in season 1 and season 2. So how much did you miss working with the rest of the cast for really this season?
Oh, tons. And I tried to use as much of that feeling of loneliness and abandonment as possible, because that's what Nate is feeling, really. He's out on a limb and a fish out of water. So yeah, there was, and it's intimidating when you're suddenly on a new set with a new bunch of characters, and actors who you've not worked with before. And again, that's sort of true to what Nate's going through at the moment with joining West Ham and feeling he has something to prove. So I tried to use as much of that to make it feel authentic. But look, Jason was always on hand there for those scenes anyway. But yeah. It meant that whenever there's a scene like, in episode 4, that scene in the lift, between the two of them, and it's quite a short scene, but that felt like an absolute gift. I was like, I get to do a scene with Jay. That was that was quite emotional in a way, in a weird way.
Absolutely. Well, I'm looking forward to these last 6 episodes. Nick, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Oh yeah, continued success to you. We are at the halfway point of Ted Lasso season 3, but how would you describe these next 6 episodes of the season?
Sequential.
Yeah. There's 6 of them.
Yeah.
And
one after the other. Episode 12 is the final episode. I can't tell you that.
Episode 7 is the next season. Yeah. Brian, I'm very intrigued by the 2 doors behind you. I have to say, it looks like a farce is about to happen. And anyway, we can't, we can't give anything away like that. We have to say that it's great. And it's really, really, the comedy, the level just keeps going up. Yeah. This was a transitional episode. So I think you're going to see the team moving, going into action a little bit more. This was a kind of sit and think and meditate kind of episode, and seeing people off work was a great one. So they're kind of back at work from now on.
Of course. And James, I wanted to ask you this question. Trent Crimm has more of a featured role in this season because, his character is writing a book about the team. So how's it been working closely with the cast, like with Jason Sudeikis and the rest of the cast members this season?
I mean, it was, I've just learned loads, as you can imagine. I mean, to be honest, I have, it's a room full of incredibly talented, very funny people, all making amazing choices and just sort of very different kind of, I don't know, sort of styles and all. I just loved every single atom of this experience. I really did. It was a joy. It was really interesting seeing a scene kind of start to take off. Quite often, Jason we do a read through, and then he will just go around the room and just do a little sprinkle of magic, wouldn't he? A little tweak here and there, and then it starts to sort of float up into something very special. So I loved being around more.
Of course. And Jeremy Higgins, your character has been consistent throughout these last 3 seasons. One of the things I liked about this season is you got to perform in that jazz club. So was that your favorite moment for your character this season, or was it something else?
I think it was. Yeah, I've got to be honest. I loved doing it. It was a pretty long day. We were in that club the whole day. But I'd worked on the song quite a lot because I wanted to get it right. Having said that, of course, I recorded it with the band before we actually filmed it, because otherwise it would be, out of sequence. We might do different tempos or something like that. But we still played it. We still played it live together, and it was such a joy. They were so talented, annoyingly talented for people who are only about 22. Outrageous that they were that good. So awesome. I loved it. Yeah.
Awesome. And last question for me before I let you go is: there's been a lot of talk about the future of this series, but if the series were to end, would you like to see your characters in a spinoff show or even come back for a movie?
Yes.
Both those things.
Yeah.
Or the abbreviated version. Yes.
Yes.
Why not? What a good idea.
Oh, yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Again, congratulations on Ted Lasso and continued success to both of you. But I want to ask you this first. Ted Lasso season 3 is at the midway point. But without giving anything away, what can you tease about your characters for these next 6 episodes?
Well, what can I tease?
Tease, Colin.
Tease. I can tease, that, Isaac's going to look stoic, and no, I'm joking. I can tease that hopefully people like it and enjoy it the way that they have been enjoying it so far. You know?
Yeah, I think from episode 6, you're seeing a lot of relationships being built, and the team that got on the bus, the team that is different to the team that you're seeing go back on the bus. So I think that after episode 6, it's a real fresh start for the team going forward, and hopefully their performances on the field reflect that.
To better pastures.
Better pastures. Yeah.
So yeah.
So yeah.
I was really
of course, but. Yeah, but Cristo, I wanted to ask you this. From this season, Danny was not happy when he learned that Zava, and really the whole team wasn't happy to learn that Zava retired from soccer. So is it possible that we see kind of a different side at Danny in the next half of season 3?
Well, that's always a possibility. I think, like Danny wanted Zava, and then he leaves, and that affects him. And then also he wanted to see a tulip, and then didn't get that. And then the team couldn't decide what to eat, and also he's very angry.
Yeah.
So I think those are really different moments that we're seeing in Danny, and I think it's shaping for what's going to come. And yeah, I think Danny has luckily evolved from season 1 until now, and going through different facets and different aspects. And I think that's making Danny more of a real human being. And yeah, look forward to watching people's reaction to that.
Mm-hmm. Of course. And Kola, 𝐒𝐿 is the captain of AFC Richmond, and the team's not really doing so well right now. Because of him being a leader, do you think that 𝐒𝐿 puts a lot of blame on himself for the issues that are going on with the club?
Of course, there's two main reasons why he would do that. One being the major factor being him being the captain and being, the full guy, besides the manager and the ownership. And also he's a centre back. And, in football, soccer, anytime, the team's doing badly and they keep shipping goals, the goalkeeper is first and then the centre back. But if the centre back is also the captain, yeah, he gets they'd get all of the blame, which 𝐒𝐿 would take that burden. But I think I have a sneaking suspicion that he'll be all right. He's tough. He can take it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And Billy, Colin has been a central focus this season due to his sexuality and just trying to keep that a secret. So how's it been for you to play a character that is kind of living two lives?
Yeah, I think that it's testament to, I think what's so heartbreaking is that I don't believe until season 3, you've seen the real Colin. Like from season 1 to season 2, you thought that you did. You thought that you saw this young boy that was saying, I'm a strong and capable man, sort of a bit quiet, bit of the fool guy here and there, sort of funny things always seem to happen to him. But I think that you see that there's a reason why he says that he's a strong, capable man, because he has to keep telling himself that, because he's hiding something from the team. So yeah,
kind of like behind the curtain.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah. And then the
curtain's finally dropped
with a show like this. Exactly. Yeah, we have an amazing ensemble, and what this show does is then the lens then switches, and then you get to see the outside world and how these footballers are kind of living, because footballers have a personal life as well. Which some people actually forget.
Mm-hmm.
And one last question before I let you guys go is, your characters are featured in the video game FIFA 23. Have you got a chance to play the game? And if so, do you think they're accurate representations of your characters?
I just want to say, 𝐒𝐿, he's looking mighty handsome on that game. Not like I'm biased or anything like that.
Right.
Accurate. Of course. It was really, really a surreal moment playing it. I played it many times. Just when I want an ego boost, really.
But also playing together a lot.
Yeah, we play it together.
Yeah.
Obviously, we were all in London, and we spent a lot of time around each other's houses. We played a whole tournament, as AFC Richmond, and it's just unbelievable to see yourself on FIFA.
Yeah.
And you're not a professional footballer, but you love football.
But
That's
it's also
crazy.
It's also like we put each other like. I'll put 𝐒𝐿 takes every corner, every free kick, every penalty, even goal kicks.
Basically puts himself up front.
Well, I do, because he needs to get his goals. He needs to get some goals. I put him back half time. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. Congratulations on Ted Lasso, and continued success to all 3 of you.